girls, welcome to Pablo Ricardo. We are multi-classless. We got points in Rogue and we got points in Wizard, so you're gonna get fucked up when we get high level. I'm very attractive, and with me is the man who straggles bedraggled while haggling for two bagels. It's Michael Magas.
That was a lot to say. Oof.
I got words.
And do we not have points in Barbarian? I feel like we should have points.
It comes so once we get up to 9th level Rogue and Wizard multi-class, then we start taking points in Barbarian, and then it's just it's fucking over.
So we're Jack Tenrick. Gotcha.
Kind of. That's a thing.
It's Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. Reference a TV show that I don't think anyone's watched in 20 years.
Oh God, I remember the title just because it's Cadillacs and Dinosaurs.
I loved it. I loved that show. It was hilarious.
There is a song called Cadillacs and Chevys by Jaron Benton. Hilarious. It's rap, so I don't know if anybody's really, old people, race fans won't like it because it involves, words. But it's very funny. Very funny.
I enjoyed that show, and I did a rewatch of it not too long ago. During the COVID, when I was driving up the walls by not really being able to leave my apartment, it's I need everything to binge watch, everything. And I re-binge watch it, and you know what? It holds up better than you'd think it would.
And I think it would.
There are shows that didn't hold up at all. For example, watching Beast Wars again was not pleasant. The dialogue was terrible, and this held up much better. Anyways, Martin Edmonds is starting on pole. What word of world are we? Tobias Thierol, Bertrand Barrier, Andrew D, Hendrik Andreasen, James Butler, and Sebastian Bodine, your prototypes. And in the GT category, we have Guillaume Elkinduko, Magic Kashchuk, David Marcadet, Ariel Zatoni, Romain Barthez, Rene Ermer, Vic Vega, Alfonso Alexandre. John Barker was next, and they've taken my results away, so I don't know if I can go any further. Anyways, we got the 5-minute warm-up here, so
5 minutes. What the hell?
What do we got for the people, Byron? Do we have anything interesting? Anything from your day you want to relate?
They started putting new warning signs on cigarette packs in Ukraine. They say something to the effect of, if you don't stop smoking, you won't get to live long enough to see Putin kill himself.
That's solid motivation.
That's entertaining.
Solid motivation.
I did take a long walk today on my dumb leg, and I feel relatively tired.
But the leg held up?
Yeah, I almost fell down a couple times, but no big deal. I didn't. So here we are.
Progress is progress.
No. And I'm finding it easier to get up and downstairs. Well, easier to get upstairs. Getting downstairs, still stupid. The leg still doesn't want to, carry that weight.
Don't want to carry that hoss.
No, it's a whole lot of person going on.
Whole lot of person.
A whole lot of person going on.
I'm trying to think if I have anything interesting and exciting to add. I really don't. There was a Formula 1 race yesterday. It was good. It was fun. The Red Bull Ring usually produces good racing, and that was enjoyable. And so there is a Patreon I subscribe to that does Formula 1 and other forms of motor racing. They take pop culture things and they make it about racing essentially. And you got to pay to see this, unfortunately. But I enjoy it. They did a Hannibal Fist thing, but with Dan Tickton. It's pretty fun.
Hannibal, don't do this. Hannibal.
The defense the prosecution calls Dan Tickton.
Your Honor, I'm too rich and crying too much, and I literally can't see what I'm doing. But somehow, it's a foreigner's fault. And also my pit crew. Please, may I have an ear bucket for my tears?
Pretty good. And if you're a Dan Tickton fan, I don't apologize for anything. I apologize for nothing.
Fuck Dan Ticktum.
Byron knows very little about racing, but he does know. Fuck Dan Ticktum.
I know Schumacher's awesome, but he dead. And fuck Dan Ticktum.
He's not dead, but he is eventually.
No, the real Schumacher.
Not dead yet.
Is he not? Yes, he is. He was in a coma for like 9 years.
I believe he is not officially dead. So.
Really? Oh, well, let me look this up.
Like he is not in good shape. We'll put it that way. But like he is still among the living.
Oh shit, he is too. I was sure he had died.
Nope.
Well, fuck. Well, that's what I get for thinking out loud.
Let's see here. He has been conscious since 2019.
That is a step in the right direction.
Jean Todt, the former manager of Ferrari, said that Schumacher was making good progress but struggles to communicate. He has stated that Schumacher has been able to watch Formula 1 races on television at his home. In September of 2019, reported that he has been admitted to a hospital again for treatment by a cardiovascular surgeon, described as a pioneer in cell surgery. Following the treatment, which involved receiving anti-inflammatory stem cell perfusion, medical staff stated that Schumacher was conscious. So, I mean, it's definitely still a very interesting scenario.
We just get that man hooked up with like 93 different IVs of just straight stem cells and like get him jacked up like Bane.
Give him the venom.
Get him.
But nope, among the living still.
Well, that's good.
And his son's finally doing some things in F1. Actually, picked up a 7th place.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure Michael Schumacher could still beat Mick Schumacher in the race right now. Trash, garbage.
Probably not. Mick Schumacher is not a bad driver. I think people are way too hard on him. Like he had a terrible rookie season in F1, but at the same time he was racing for Haas, so it doesn't fucking matter. And then he started this season kind of poorly, but the last couple of races have been good. He scored points at Silverstone and at Red Bull Ring. For comparison purposes against his teammate this season, he has scored 12 points to Magnussen's 22. So he's now scored by 10 points. And let's have a look at their head-to-head here.
Well, I mean, if he'd work on his jumper, he'd probably have a few more points than that.
We'll look at the head-to-head here. So let's see here. Magnussen beat him in Bahrain, Imola. That's it, actually. He's only beaten him twice. I was expecting more. In races that they had both finished, Mick beat him at Albert Park, at Barcelona, and the last 2 races. So Mick's actually up 4-2 against his teammate. In terms of races at which they both finished the race, and therefore there was a head-to-head. Magnussen is DNF 3 times. Schumacher is DNF twice with 1 withdrawal. So like there are 3 rounds there that don't have anything scored. 4 actually. But anyways, we're here for the start of the race.
Disgusting.
So thank you for sticking with us as we debated Mick Schumacher's Haas career and whether Michael Schumacher was still alive. And here we go.
Reports of his demise were greatly exaggerated, but only by me apparently.
Martin Edmonds will lead us from the pole position. Here we go. Somebody got a drive-through penalty. I did not catch who that was, though. Andrew D with the start as we watch on board. Someone dropped the start. Uh-oh. And it is Tobias Thierolf getting swallowed up and dropping down to 4th place. And Bertrand Barrier has got the lead. Interesting. So jumbled first corner here. Barrier leads the way from Andrew D. The front row just kind of went nowhere. And there's Martin Edmonds battling back up the inside of D into 2nd place in his cheater Audi car. And Tobias Thierolf going back another spot as he loses out to Henrik Andreasen there for 4th place. And in the GT3 category, it is El Conduco, Cash Chuck, Satoni, Marcanday, and Vic Vega.
hot streak with the thing and we can put him in the ball.
Martin in second place. He's looking strong today, although not a good start. Looking to the inside there of Barrier, and he'll go through. Do not ask me to name any of the corners around Paul Ricard. It ain't happening, so just don't even ask.
They're all named Paul or Ricard.
Henrik Andreasen on board here. Andrew D was sniffing around, getting by Bertrand Barrier. Quite slow there. We do like Barrier's livery, like fetching green and black color. As Andrew D spins out.
Oh my goodness.
Further back, Vic Vega getting physical with Romain Barthez. I wouldn't recommend that if I were you. Romain Barthez knows a thing or two about the physicality of motor racing. Adam Kowarowski in the Camaro bringing up the rear. And there is Marcaday on the tail of Ariel Zatoni. Ariel knows the way to my heart, which is that dark green Black Falcon livery he's sporting there. Love that livery. Is beautiful. The Mercedes is doing quite well, actually. They're 1, 2, and 3 right now. El Conduco, Kashchuk, and Zatoni. David Marcaday in the Ford GT. It's Ford v Mercedes, Byron.
That's the historical drama with the with Batman and the guy from Mars.
Oh, somebody spinning out there. I think that was Sebastian Bodine.
Matthew Modine.
Bodine. Byron, who would you have play yourself in a biography piece about yourself?
Jason Momoa.
Good call, good call.
It doesn't even matter that he's of the wrong ethnicity. I'm very progressive.
You're entirely willing to be
willing to look the other way.
You are willing to be diversity cast.
Willing to give opportunities
side by side
to
with
others.
Alexandre, who wins out, takes 5th place. Vic Vega has been shuffled back to 9th, currently behind the Greek Freak is back, Byron. It's Demetrius Simeonidis.
Oh shit! The second angriest man in the world.
No, that's for Rico's pocket.
Well, he's the first angriest man.
Okay. We're going longer than Barrier trailing Martin Edmondson. This is a 1 pit stop race, of course, to go over the rules real quick. 90 minutes around Paul Ricard.
It's about 30 seconds through Paul Ricard, though, if you just drive fast enough.
Oh. Trying to break the slipstream there is Martin. He's still determined to stay in that vortex of wind that's going to suck you up to the back of the car in front of you.
Giggity?
Giggity. Luciano Achaza slipped to the back of the pack. What happened there to the Alpina driver? Ariel Zatoni is also falling way back on the way. So Zatoni back to 22nd place now. Was running in 3rd, ahead of Daniel Martin. Barrier looking for to make a move here into turn 1, which is a prime overtaking piece of real estate here. We'll see if he can take the lead. He's got some bad ping. I think that. Lord! Martinho!
High five.
May have just totally turned into Bertrand there.
That was just a high-speed high five. That's what that was. Or perhaps DoorDash gone hardcore. So did you order this burger?
Indeed. Barthez looking to get back past Alfonso Alexandre for 4th place. We haven't gotten to see it on replay, but Alfonso's got himself a real nice ACC livery that he's going to bring to the 3D Speed Series. Just has yet to attend a round. John Barker, the tail of Vic Vega, ahead of the world's most energetic and enthusiastic driver, Mauricio Delgado.
Sí, Murciélago Diablo. Muy rápido, muy caliente.
Barthez looking for a move there on, or pardon me, Alexandre looking for a move on Barthez. Alexandre remains ahead. Andrew D. Coming up to James Boutelier.
Perhaps looking to flash D's nuts.
Battle for 4th place in the prototype series. I think we were missing Andrew D in the last race, and it's kind of unfortunate because he was right in the middle of a championship fight.
Perhaps need to put a little foil on.
Maybe. Going side by side with James Butler. Can he make it around the outside here at the end of the long straightaway? Yes, he can. 4th place. In fact, didn't even have to get to the turn. Just overpowers him on the straightaway. Butler not interested in giving up that spot, though. If you're faster on the straightaway, it says that Butler probably has the edge in the twisty bits, running a little bit of extra downforce.
Twisty bits, I believe that was your nickname in high school.
It was not. Most of my nicknames in high school just basically revolved around the fact that you changed the end of my name and make it Vegas.
Yeah. I was gonna go with me, my Magas, Banana Fana, and then like pretend like I had discovered it was a bad idea to sing that song. But I just hadn't been able to work that into a commentary yet. My shit doesn't rhyme with anything, so good luck.
Mostly Vegas and for some reason Princess.
See, y'all didn't hang around with people who read books because Magas is a wizard, and you can just like, go off that.
No, I think the issue is that the people who read books and thus would actually make that connection preferred to go with Princess because it annoyed the hell out of me. And the people who didn't read books just went with the low-hanging fruit.
Well, it seems as though they just did not read. Neither camp read enough books.
Well, one camp definitely did.
And they were probably also
Stairwell Trolls definitely read a lot of books.
Is that the guys that
overtakes James Butler?
They would bring certain ethnicities over to Chris Bosch, that stairway group?
No. They were the group of nerdy people at my high school who hung around near the stairwell and therefore were dubbed the Stairwell Trolls.
Caw.
Which I don't know what the problem with hanging around the stairwell was. It was nice and private. It was better than being the courtyard people who hung around this really, really, really dilapidated picnic table. Periodically would break when we were sitting on it. There was the year where we had the student lounge. I think the school realized that was a terrible idea. Is that it's overtaken there by Ricardo Costa.
Dive Bomba is from Senegal, right?
Senegalese coast.
Dive Bomba.
They gave us a student lounge in our senior year, and I think they regretted that after like all the furniture it was destroyed by like people making thrones and getting into fights. Adam Komorowski in the Camaro. Overtake there on Jamie Fordham. 10th place. I would think the Camaro would actually be fairly strong around here. Whereas Alfonso Alexandre has fallen back, as has Romain Barthez. So I wonder if those two came close. Because Alexandre has lost out to Rene Irmer. And Barthez has fallen to back. Although we did enjoy the lounge. We put a GameCube in the lounge. There was a lot of money to be won in the Super Smash Brothers Melee circuit in high school.
Very nice. My brother just lent money and charged people interest.
I did that too. You know I did that.
It's 93% interest per hour.
People thought that the interest was a joke until I started like showing up randomly in the bathroom. They were there and be like, "You got my money."
See, that might necessitate somebody peeing on your shoes.
I mean, they're free to do that, but the baseball bat might have a word on that.
Little did you know that pee stains just decrease the the insurance you're going to need to take out.
Komorowski recovered from an off-track moment there. My lord, this is the congested part of the track as the prototypes make their way through. Also, the lounge was home to the Gallon Challenge, where you had to drink a gallon of milk. That was not pleasant.
Yeah, I wouldn't be participating in that one. That
I didn't participate. I'm saying it wasn't pleasant just to watch.
But what if you combined it and you did the cinnamon challenge and just dumped the cinnamon in the milk and did both at the same time?
Oh God! Oh Lord! Oh, that would be terrible.
Cinnamon milk.
We had many terrible ideas in high school. Some of them were good. The 100 value burger challenge was always great because there was a Harvey's across from my school. You know, you go in, you order 100 value burgers that have to be individually topping. My lord, do they hate you? Also, the key is to get the skinniest motherfucker you have to go in there and order the 100 value burgers and a Diet Coke. That's how it is. Alfonso Alexandre still hunting down Rene Irmer. Irmer having a very good day on the fourth place. Early days yet. We got 76 minutes to go. Plenty of time. Riding on board with Andrew D.
These nuts.
Andrew D running in fourth position, trying to catch up to Tobias Thierolf and trying to hang on against Bertrand Barrier. He's in a bit of a sandwich here between two really fast guys with undoubtable speed, probably greater than B's. But Andrew D is a pretty consistent, pretty solid driver, and hopefully he can get it. Romain Barthez has fallen a lap down, and Jamie Fordham is shown as ahead of the guy he's actually behind. That could suggest that they are both out of the race, but wait for confirmation on that.
Is there any chance we could get the manufacturers of the video game to have some little paid cosmetics? We supply everybody with some truck nuts.
I mean, I'm sure they'd love that.
You know people would buy it.
Probably. RAD and Thierolf negotiating around through the traffic here. Some of the legacy GTs who are in a very tight race of their own as Barrier goes up the inside of D, and D shuts that door.
Yeah, apparently 3 people were gored this year at the running of the bulls. Pro tip, don't be in front of the poker books.
Well, Byron, I can inform you as to who the UFC has decided to match up against in the sim as some of the guys down there. You will be fighting an individual by the name of Barrett Lewis. And,
is that bad news?
Well, I mean, he's basically Derek Lewis.
Okay.
In every way, in the sense that I can't really tell you why he's good, but he does keep winning.
That is fair.
He hits really hard. You generally get tired trying to grapple with him. And, oh no, John Barker. It's a very damaged car of John Barker there in the BMW Z4. meantime, Tobias Thierolf has been overtaken by Andrew D. And somebody who's looking to also get through there is Bertrand Barrier. As they navigate their way around the traffic that is Rene Ermer, as well as Alphonse Alexandre. I don't know why I was blanking on the name there. Byron is off to get some groceries, so he will be away for the next little bit.
I mean, I could have said that out loud.
Well, we really should justify why you're going to be quiet.
You have to rely on my
there we go.
A delivery right.
Oh, Lord, 3 wide. Why do you do this? James Butler's happy about it because he overtakes Bertrand Barrier off the whole deal. My Lord. This is a track that does allow for a lot of side-by-side driving, but the blue flag scenarios here are definitely coming at some awkward moments for the prototypes. Alphonse Alexandre still trailing Rene Ermer, therefore, best of the Corvettes in a battle for 4th place. Meantime, I think we can confirm that Fordham and Barthez have indeed exited the race. Here is Bertrand Barrier on board, looking to get past James Butler into turn 1, and he does. In fact, I think that was a really, really well-placed Mercedes of Magic Kaschuk there that'll actually buy him some separation and get him a little bit clearer of Butler, actually. Very nice. Good timing. Exploiting the traffic to his own advantages. Now the pressure on Andrew D as they get around the GT3 class leader, Guillaume El Conduco. And Ariel Zatoni and the Greek Freak battling it out here. BMW Z4 versus Mercedes SLS. Oh, Lord, that was a tight turn. Hell of a move around the outside by Ariel Zatoni, and he's into 8th place. Very nice driving from the Black Falcon Mercedes. Dimitri Simonidis has been away for a while. We welcome him back with open arms, giving you the commentary hug here, Dimitris. And it's great to have the Greek Freak back as he comes up in the draft of Ariel Zatoni and is going to look for a move. Can he get the job done? Can the Z4 go back in front? It can. And in the background there, you got Adam Komorowski and Dive Bombay. In 10th and 11th place, we pick up Vic Vega. He is battling with Mauricio Delgado. We got all 4 Corvettes like kind of in a row there, except for Bombay. So it's Ermer, Alexandre, 4th and 5th, 6th for Delgado, and 7th for Vega. So the Mercedes and the Corvettes having a pretty solid day, I would have to say.
You would say that.
I would. Well, because they are. You missed a great battle between Demetrius the Greek Freak and Ariel Zatoni. It was heart's popping. My heart is palpitating.
That's probably just the meth.
We've been through this. It's not the meth.
He's used to the meth. Might be the special
Andrew
K.
D is falling back behind Tobias Thierolf and Bertrand Barrier. So he's down to 5th place. Martin Edmonds and Hendrik Andreasen, by the way, are just like booting it clear right now in 1st and 2nd place. Back to Ariel Zatoni. He's gone around the outside, trying the inside this time, and it works again. He's back past Simeonitis. We'll see if he can hang on to the position. Simeonitis seems to have a great run through the large straightaway, the Mulsanne, and that has been pretty key. I think it's the Mulsanne anyways. I'm going to look up the Paul Ricard track.
Is that like Mulsanne Canadian?
I want to know the name of that big-ass straight. It might be the Mistral.
I believe
it's the Mistral. I was wrong. It's the Mistral. Bertrand Barrier recovering from a little bit of a spin there. And Vic Vegas still battling it out with Mauricio Delgado. Sorry, Vic. We like you, but we have to cheer for Delgado. We're handcuffed.
Yeah, it's in our contract.
It's in our contract. It's in our souls, honestly.
See.
Because we know Mauricio would be cheering for us.
This is true. Because Mauricio cheers for everybody. except the filthy Uzbeks.
Speaking of Uzbeks, everyone's really big on Kakramonov's performance in the UFC there this weekend. I don't know why, but I'm just not feeling it.
All I remember is repeating his name a lot and thinking it'd be really funny if he married into the composer family, because then he could become Kakramanov Rachmaninoff. Say that 5 times fast.
I think it's more like people were really impressed that he dominated Ronnie Lawrence. And I think the difference is I just expected him to dominate Ronnie Lawrence. So it's one of those cases where like I just don't have the same feeling about it as Zatoni once again gets past in the twisty bits here. He's definitely got a car more set up for the twisty portions of this track. It seems to be losing out on the horsepower side, which is weird because the SLS usually is a straight line king. This Z4 appears to be really, really tuned out from straight line. And you were saying something before I rudely
I was going to say I'd be more impressed if he was, instead of Ronnie Lawrence, he was dominating Hani Aya.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Especially the way he likes to do it. He would want to wrestle Ronnie Aya.
That's a bad idea. That's a bad bunch of bad news.
It's a lot of bad problems.
You're going into the kill box tonight.
And we know fighters will do that, because, I mean, Jared Vanderhaar on that same card was a classic example.
Mm-hmm.
Man went to the ground with Alexei Olnik and is like, I'm going to box Chase Sherman, a guy who's a terrible grappler.
Correct. Well, the James Webb Telescope's coming online. They're going to be doing some pictures late today, tomorrow, something like that.
Which one? What's that taking pictures of again?
Everything.
Everything.
I don't think there's a thing you can't see.
But there was something specific. It's supposed to be getting our first ever pictures.
Yeah, I just don't remember what it is. I just know it's real powerful, it's really shiny, and it ought to be neat.
Fonzal Chandre on the tail of Rene Herbert. By the way, the pit window has been open for a little bit here, and we haven't seen anybody actually take their pit stop yet. Looks like we've lost John Barker from the race. We saw his car moving very, very slowly, so that does not surprise me. Looks like somebody in the background there is thinking about making a pit stop, or the Mercedes is dodging it. Andrew D on the tail of Tobias Theerwolf.
Toby the Theory Wolf, as I live and breathe.
Tobias Theerwolf, by the way, with the record-setting performance for the Bronx in the last round.
He managed to strike out for the side.
6 RBIs in 1 game.
Ah. I'm pretty sure I've done that. My character.
He did it without a home run, though.
Oh, see, that's a different. Yeah, I've definitely had like a grand slam and then some stuff. But no home run, 6 RBIs, that's tough. All respect.
He's got a lot of RBIs this season, although unfortunately his batting average has not been the healthiest. Rene Ermer has lost a spot to Alfonso Alexandre. A lot of love for Rene Ermer, but I think that if he's going to get back past Alexandre, he's going to have to do it somehow in the pit stops. So, by the way, our first pit stoppers have come in, Luciano Echazo and Ricardo Costa.
Ricardo Montalbán.
Looks like Zatoni has finally gotten a little bit of breathing room back to Demetrius Simonis.
I came down with a bad case of sinusitis once.
Oh, how'd you get it?
I had to get pills from the doctor.
I think we just lost Ricardo Costa. I think we've lost Vic Vega as well. The GT3s are dropping like flies here.
Magel, is it true that these guys are just in a big hurry to get to the Catalina wine mixer?
Could be. And the D, heading down the Mistral straight, trying to get past Tobias Thierolf there for third place again. And it looks like he might get it done. Yes, he will. So Andrew D back onto the podium for the time being.
Oh, there we go. I knew I'd hit it. Awesome. So I went on to Imager and hit up User Sub, which is where all the early submissions show up and get up for get downvoted before, moving on.
Okay.
And we have the James Webb Telescope's first deep field fucking observation. Now, since it's, obviously been downgraded to fit on like a plebeian computer, which my computer's not bad, but I mean, I'm not even rocking 4K, so I gotta say that it looks cool, but I don't know what to really tell you. It looks like a bunch of galaxies that are doing cool things.
Gotcha. Deep Bombay in the pit lane.
I went to Bombay once.
Battle for third place navigates its way around that gigantic brick of a Camaro driven by Adam Komorowski. Komorowski's had a rough season with that Camaro, but he's put up some decent results. He's actually coming off an 8th place finish at Portimao, which is his best race of the season. It's a shame that we haven't gotten a really good GT championship this season, because I think we had the ingredients for it. We had Guillaume Duco, of course, who was dominated, but like a couple of people have come up and just like stomped on him, like Pedro Magalhaes and Paul Laru, but they've only been here for one race apiece. But they came, they dominated, and then they didn't come back.
Perhaps you did not supply them with enough green M&Ms.
We're also missing Max Simmons.
Well, I mean, he's probably, on probation.
The prototype championship leader. And if I'm not very much mistaken, that means that the door is open for Tobias Thierolf to possibly take over the championship. We'll see if he does.
My goodness.
Speaking of Tobias Thierolf, there he is. Putting a lap on Mauricio Delgado. I think we just lost Ariel Zatoni from the race.
No.
And I have to assume that's just a pure connection drop, so I wonder if the server was acting up on this particular day, because I have seen a little bit more of the wavering shifty car thing that tends to happen when there's high ping on the server than usual. So I do wonder if there's maybe something was at play. Ariel, of course, based in Argentina. There's always a little bit of a problem when it comes to their connection, and the fact that their internet is old school, very old school. As
Do not like.
Henrik Andreasen is a spin out there, and that will cost him second place, and a couple more as D, Thierolf, and Barrier all go through. Weird place to spin. I wonder if he had some contact with a lapped car, perhaps. It's the battle for second place, navigating around Alfonso Alexandre.
Alfonso Alejandro Estrada.
I actually saw Estrada wrestle the other day because
Oh, really?
one of the YouTube channels I subscribe to does like basically a recap of someone's run in WWE or Impact Wrestling or whatever. And they did Jonathan Coachman, so there was some Estrada in that video.
Coachman.
He got a false sense of hope when pretty early on in Coachman's wrestling career, he had a match with Tajiri that was actually pretty good, reasonably good.
It's because Tajiri can have a good match with anyone.
Oh yeah, no, I fully credit Tajiri. And he's like, oh, maybe this isn't going to be so bad. I'm like, oh, my poor summer child.
Because Tajiri's the master.
Oh, John Barker is still out there running, although this is the second time we've seen him have... Oh, Henrik Andreassen's in the wall! We didn't see why! This race has gone from incredibly good to incredibly bad for Henrik Andreassen in only a couple of laps. He was looking for sure like a second place finisher here, and now he's tumbled down to 6th place, which is just ahead of Sebastian Bodine as far as the prototypes are concerned. So the Magic Kashchuk is navigated here, and Bertrand Barrier with a liberal interpretation of track limits there.
I'll allow it.
It's I'm gonna add that to the stewarding pile.
Oh, stage.
That was hey, this is what happens when you're the assistant steward, sir. We're also going to be looking at Martin Edmonds' contact with Barrier. The stewards have noted this.
Super smash.
It's my job, my man.
You kids and your employment.
Well, employment implies that I'm paid.
You kids and your shenanigans.
It's more charitable use of my time. Elking Duco going down another lap there. Still not a lot of pit stop action. Henrik Andreassen's been in. As well as Dibombe and Luciano Chazo. And it looks like we may have lost Demetrius Simeonitis now. They're dropping like flies, Byron.
Well, that's good. I don't like flies. Flies can fuck right up.
Yeah, but we're down to just 10 GT3 cars.
Oh, yeah, I can see that being a problem.
And one of those is John Barker, who... John, I have all the love in the world for you. You enjoy my singing. There's something seriously wrong with you in the head. But it's not been a good day for John Barker. He's out there kind of hobbling that car around.
It is currently raining like a motherfucker outside.
Is that worse or better than raining cats and dogs?
I mean, better, because you don't want the cats or dogs to get hurt. But if motherfuckers, fuck them. Oh, wait, my dad's a motherfucker. Ah, this could be a problem.
In fact, all dads are.
Correct.
Unless we're talking like some in vitro stuff.
That's fair. Yeah, that's true.
One of the Audi cars spinning around there, trying to determine by the gap who it would be. I'm going to guess it's James Butler.
You would guess that.
Well, James Butler gap is going up, and the other Audis are really not. So that is option.
Nagel, if you were to select one character from the East-West Bowl to portray you in a biopic of your life, which one would it be?
Oh, I don't even know. There are so many options there.
Indeed.
The dude who literally just was a I can't think of the tool.
Oh, the jackhammer sounds?
Jackhammer, there you go.
Torque Lewis.
Torque.
Insert protracted jackhammer sounds, Lewis. What about squeeps?
Squeeps is good.
Donkey teeth.
I think Balake personally would be.
Yeah, I guess. If anybody's not familiar, you owe it to yourself to look up East-West Bowl by Key and Peele. I think there's like 4 of them? 3 of them?
There's 6 of them.
Is there? Holy shit. Okay, only the first 2 are good, from what I can remember. After that, it kind of just got redundant.
It does become redundant after the first 2. I will totally give that. But I think they're still worth a watch.
Yeah. But I mean, don't watch them all at once. Watch the first 2, and then give yourself a break before diving into the other ones. Because if you do that, it's going to be like a downhill skid.
Tends to be the case with almost any kind of comedic-like thing now. It's at some point the value starts to become reduced.
Correct.
Except Shorzy. That's gold all the way through.
I will take your word for it.
You need to watch Shorzy.
You know what? I may have borrowed it off the internet, and I may have had the folder open for a few days straight and just didn't get around to it, and then watched something else, and then had to restart the computer and then forgot.
You need to enjoy Terry Ryan playing essentially himself.
Neat.
According to like all of his former teammates in the NHL, it's like no, he's not acting. That's just Terry.
I would like a cameo by Donald Brashear.
That'd be cool. Yeah, for that.
Maybe George LaRock and Donald Brashear show up, though. Escorted by Anson Carter. Trying to come up with like, can we fill out like a whole? We got to be able to fill out like a whole line of black dudes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and then we can get Ray Emery and goal.
If you want like just a starting 5 plus a goalie, you got Ray Emery or Kevin Weeks in goal.
Oh, I forgot about Kevin Weeks. Fuck. George LaRock. We got Donald Brashear.
PK Subban at defense.
PK or the other Subban also in goal.
Yeah, Malcolm Subban also in goal.
Couldn't remember his first name.
I'm trying to think of a second defenseman.
Yeah, I don't know. Is Vander Kane? What is his ethnicity?
Vander Kane is a native mix.
I know the name. I've seen the picture. I know he's got gambling problems. That's all I know about him.
Oh, I can think of like tons of forwards. Like we got Mike Greer, George LaRock.
Oh, Mike Greer, yeah.
Joel Ward, Anson Carter, as you said. It's more that I just can't think of another defenseman.
Yeah,
that's really the only. Well, there is the guy who is literally in Shorzy, who's playing himself, a former NHL player and now rapper, Dolo.
What about Boomtown?
But his stay in the NHL was very, very short.
I can't remember which one. Is it Boomtown?
Boomtown.
Or is it Fiske? I can't remember which one is the black dude from Letterkenny.
Fiske. Boomtown's white.
I see, yeah. And I couldn't remember.
Boomtown's actually in The Expanse. He's the big muscle dude that gets tiny, who gets thrown down the shaft.
Me too.
Action is kind of on a little bit of a damper here as we work through the pit stops. Essentially, there's a lot of tension. A lot of things could kick off, but there's oh no! I think we just lost Henrik Andreasson.
They're all dead.
That would be our first prototype that is lost. I'm gonna have to ask Martin after this if there was like a problem with the server, because it's a lot of dropping going on. Jeez. while we have a moment here. African Americans in the NHL.
Or African Canadians. Or as we like to call them, Canadians.
There's also Caribbean Americans, like Nigel Dawes, who played in the NHL.
Correct. Oh, you know who we're forgetting? Daniel Cormier. Best hockey player. Possibly not.
All right, here we go. There's Jerome McGinley. We can keep forgot about him.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
Part native.
What the hell? God.
He has the most NHL career games out of any black player.
Yeah, well, yeah, he spent like 32 years in Calgary wasting his time.
Yep. 1,554 games. No one else has broken the 1,000 mark yet. The closest active player to that would be Kyle Okposo. 909 games. Dustin Byron. There we go. That's our.
Oh, right. God, why am I forgetful like that? Mr. Byfuglian. If you don't know, you can try googling Dustin Byfuglian. Go ahead, try it. You have no idea how Byfuglian.
You have no idea how to spell that name.
You go right the heck ahead, sir. Or madam.
If we're going with just the most games played, our black guy lineup is Jerome McGinley on the right wing. On the left game, Tony McKegney, who I am not familiar with actually. He played in.
Name sounds familiar.
He played in the 1970s and 80s, and into the very early 90s. Played in 1991, last with the Chicago Blackhawks.
The name resounds way back in my skull.
Didn't play for any particular team, I'd say. Like, his longest stint was in Buffalo, but he played a couple of years in Quebec, a couple of years in Minnesota. Also played for the Rangers, Red Wings, 2 seasons with St. Louis, and like I said, finished up with the Blackhawks. I don't know who our center is because there are no centers on the particularly high high games played list. Interesting. And our defenseman would be the aforementioned Byfuglian and PK Subban.
Correct.
Most goals by a African American or African heritage player in the NHL, Jerome McGinley, who's almost twice the next highest. Yeah, same case with assists, almost twice the assist total of the next guy. The active leader in goals, Evander Kane is apparently partially.
I figured.
He is the all-time. He is the leader and active leader in goals by an African heritage player, and the leader in assists is PK Subban. Bertrand Barrier coming up along the Mistral Strait. Takes second place from Andrew D. That second place is very up for grabs between, it seems, Barrier, D, Thierolf. And that's about it. Andreasen was also in that fight before we lost him. But, of course, we lost him.
Rip. It just occurred to me that I had no idea what PK stood for in PK Subban, so I had to look it up.
Something Carl?
It's Pernell Carl, hyphenated.
Oh, well, I was right about the Carl.
His first name is Pernell Carl, middle name Sylvester. He is the PKSS.
I've heard that before, but I couldn't remember what the P, but I did remember the K was Carl.
I figured it was either something very odd or very French. Like Pierre Québécois Subban or something like that.
Historic first for African players in the NHL. The first ever signed African heritage player was Art Dorrington in August of 1950.
No,
It's actually further back than I thought.
I just assumed that there was some dudes kicking around in the 20s and whatnot.
The first African player to sign with an NHL team. Now, interesting. Dorrington was the first to sign an NHL contract. The first to sign with an NHL team came 5 years later. So I don't know if Dorrington signed.
He probably signed like a minor league contract.
John Utendale. First person, of course, to actually play a game. Willie O'Ree, of course. Tony McKegney, who we were talking about before, was the first African player to surpass 20 goals in a season in 1979-1980.
Well done.
The most recent first African note is the first ever James Norris Trophy winner, PK Subban, in 2013. Would you like to guess who is the first African player to reach 2,000 career penalty minutes?
Oh, that's either going to be Larocque or Brashear.
Well, flip a coin. Which one you going with?
Gotta go with my boy Brashear.
It is Donald Brashear.
Yeah, get up, Donnie. Gotta have a Donnybrook.
Oh, wait. How did we not think of this? Our goalie for this team is got to be the first ever African heritage player in the Hockey Hall of Fame, Grant Fuhr.
Oh, shit. I always forget that he is of also African descent.
Mm-hmm.
And to prove that, he got in a lot of trouble for smoking a lot of weed. Not to put too many stereotypes together, but that was his thing back in the day. And they didn't like it. They didn't like it at all.
One of the first they have listed here is first TV analyst in hockey, Kevin Weeks. Weeks provides color commentary for the NHL games on the NHL Network and Hockey Night in Canada. But there's no citation, and Wikipedia has added the little bracket when. So that may not be correct. Surprisingly enough, the first African-American-born player to win the Stanley Cup was Dustin Bufflett in 2010.
Interesting.
It took a fairly long time.
That's because the Canadiens, we too good at the thing, low.
That's not the first black player to win the Stanley Cup. That's the first American-born.
I know. Because Canadian-born, African North American, African outside of African players.
They don't say who the first. Oh, here we go. Yeah, Grant Fuhr.
Grant Fuhr. I was just yeah. Unless it's going to be one of the other two dudes who quoted me earlier. One of them I don't think ever played in the NHL. Grant Fuhr. Grant Fuhr won
there's a couple of guys who got like 15 years to head start. I mean, like we've had again the first black player was in 1958. So like there were a couple before Grant Fuhr.
Grant Fuhr won a fuckload of games. At least 3.
Yes. The Edmonton Oilers all the time. An unstoppable destroyer.
Correct.
Then
they traded Wayne Gretzky. What the fuck?
They were still pretty good after.
Oh yeah, they won another one after that.
You still had Mark Messier, Esatikanen, Yari Curry. I think was still there.
Yep. Fleury, Fuhr, and the backup, which was also excellent. Oh,
long spinning out there, contact with Luciano Chazzo.
Vive Bomba. You've been defused, sir. Grant motherfucking Fuhr from Spruce Grove, Alberta, Canada. Won 2 Canada Cups and silver at a World Championship. And how many Stanley Cups did he win? Come on, Wikipedia, just give me the fucking stats. Give me stats for everything else except Stanley Cups. Idiots. How many Vesnas won? 5 Stanley Cups, 1 Vesna. Made it to only 1 All-Star team. Oh, second All-Star team once, first All-Star team once, and then regular ass All-Star team like 6 times. As well as being in 2 WHL All-Star games.
Actually, the Oilers kind of went through a pretty poor season after they got rid of Gretzky. I always thought that it was a more slow decline, but they went like immediately to actually a losing record.
Yep. Yeah, it was bad, and then they kind of got it together afterwards and won another cup.
Mind you, I mean, it still has to be said, you still had 102 points from Yari Curry, 100 points from Jimmy Carson, and 94 from Messier, so not lacking in offense. And Esatikidin, Craig Simpson, Glenn Anderson is still there. And Bill Rantford and Grantford.
And 72 Sutter boys.
They have any Sutters at the time?
I thought they had 1 at some point.
They had a couple. They had a couple at the time, but I don't think there were any at this time.
Yeah.
Their grind crew was more like Craig McTavish and
Charlie
Huddy and Kevin Lowe.
Wayne Gretzky has said on many occasions he believes Fuhr to be the greatest goaltender in NHL history. This is mentioned in an interview with Wayne Gretzky conducted by John Davidson as part of the blah 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 Ultimate Gretzky thing.
See, I don't know if I can co-sign that one. I love Grant Fuhr.
Yeah,
he's a great goalie, but I don't know if he really belongs in kind of that GOAT conversation.
Well, I mean, you have 5 Stanley Cups, sir.
Yeah, but winning Stanley Cups with the Oilers, like, it wasn't about the goalie. Let's be honest.
Didn't hurt though.
Didn't hurt, but not about the goalie. We're still waiting for Adam Komorowski.
How many cups did Brodeur win?
I would say Brodeur's were all more meaningful though, because I mean New Jersey does not win those cups without Brodeur.
Martin Brodeur, Monsieur Brodeur, he won a couple of Olympic medals. He won a couple of silver world champion. He's from de Montreal, Quebec.
I still have to say Dominic Hasek is probably the greatest goaltender.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the Stanley Cups to really back that up, but never have I seen a goalie entirely deked out of his pads and yet still stopping pucks.
Yeah, there's something real wrong with that guy. Martin Brodeur, he won 3 Stanleys, but he won like 4 Vesnas.
There's a lot of like MMA fighters and so on that like you watch fight and you're like you would never recommend this in any way. Dominic Hasek is that goalie though.
Yeah.
You would not teach anyone to play like this, but
not at all. Yeah, Martin Brodeur, he won 3 Stanley Cups. Each of them were multiple years apart, so like 95, 2000, 2003. So there's some turnover on some teams. You know that he had to work for those things.
There was less turnover than you'd expect actually with New Jersey because like New Jersey's core actually kind of stayed the same.
You would say stuff like that.
It was a team that like because it was a team that like was really systematic, so they got a lot of production out of players that other teams just weren't really interested in acquiring. Like every time Jay Pandolfo became a free agent, no one really wanted him. The Devils were like, hey, here's the contract. You can go experience free agency if you want, but ain't no one gonna pay you.
Damn. Oh, Brodeur also won like 5 William Jennings trophies. So that's not anybody who doesn't know anything about what's going on out there. The Jennings Trophy is for fewest goals scored against. So in 5 different years, he won that trophy. Pretty good.
Patrick Waugh has to be in the conversation. Complete dipshit of a human being.
Oh, but he's a goalie. He's insane.
Yeah, you're not wrong. There are very few. There are very few goalies that I'd honestly say are like truly
clinically insane. That guy. But that's the person you can't say that Dominic Hasek's insane.
Oh no, Dominic Hasek also a dipshit of a human being.
I think Martin Brodeur might be the sanest goalie that's ever lived.
I did like that the Devils let him come up on stage when they were doing their 7th round draft pick like a couple years ago. And he's like, the New Jersey Devils select, I don't remember his son's name, but it's like, his son's name is Brodeur. I don't think he's actually played for the Devils at any point, but he is in their system somewhere.
Would not be shocked. And talking about Martin Brodeur and the Devils, you gotta bring up Scott Gomez, overlooked, underrated.
Tremendously. Same with Brian Giunta.
Correct. The New Guernsey Devils. That's a joke for the British viewership.
And of course, I think one of the most underrated players of all time, Patrick Elias.
Yeah. Also a colossal asshole.
Is he? I haven't heard anything about Elias.
I mean, he was one of the early, like, I'm going to hold out for my contract.
Oh.
Assholes.
Professional.
Yeah. Had a bit of an ego.
That's a little.
Had a bit of an ego in the same way that Trump uses a little butterscotch on his face.
I mean, that I can call right. That's not being necessarily a dick. It's just wanting the money for your worth.
Yeah, and I mean he did it to the Senators, and
that was Yashin, not Elias.
Oh, was it? Yeah, that was Yashin. Elias.
I was gonna say I never heard of Elias doing this.
Oh, I know he did do it. I think Yashin was the first, and then Elias did it later.
I can't. Where'd he go then? Because there's no way the Devils under Lou Lamoriello gave in to his demands.
Hold on.
Because Lou Lamoriello did not play that game.
Yeah.
Lou Lamoriello's reaction to whenever a player wanted money, whether it was Scott Niedermayer or the aforementioned Scott Gomez or Brian Giunta, was, get the fuck out of my office.
Well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong about this. Trying to find the only thing I can find about his contract is that
Bertrand Barrier going for an overtake here on Andrew D for 2nd place.
Baby.
He's squeezing through the Bombay. No, that's not Bombay. That's Mauricio Delgado.
Bombay doors.
He does manage to hang on to the position. With all the pit stops cleared, except for Komorowski, it's weird that the Camaro is going super deep in this race. That's a car with relatively higher gas mileage, relatively high tire wear. It's really a bit bizarre that he's going for the super overcut. I am not sure. I want to say the gap, the pit window closes with 25 minutes to go. So he's got like 2-3 laps maybe to get in the pits. But should see him come in soon.
Yeah, I was wrong about Elias. He was an unrestricted free agent one year and tried to sign with some other people who wouldn't give him a no movement clause, and then ended up signing back with the Devils for another 7 years, $42 million.
There you go.
That's who am I thinking about that? Yashin was definitely that asshole.
Kovalchuk?
Might have been Kovalchuk. I don't know.
Because Kovalchuk is like the only historical Devil who played the contract.
No, I don't think I'm thinking of anybody from the Devils. I don't remember who it was.
I'm pretty sure. I think you're just thinking of Yashin.
Yeah, probably.
REA going for it again down the Mistral, and the camera decides to show us race leader Martin Evans instead. Martin, do I sense your hand in this? That you maybe directed the camera to give yourself a little bit of love?
Well
Instead
done.
of this climactic battle for second place. I suppose I can't complain much about it. We're talking about hockey, random hockey tidbits for a good chunk of this race.
I regret nothing.
I didn't say you should. I was just kind of waiting for the pit stops to get out of the way so we can get down to the home stretch, and we are there, with the exception of Adam Komorowski. Oh no! Bertrand spins out, and Tobias Theerolf will pick up that podium spot for now. Barrier does tend to do this, where like he's driving real hard, but he's right there on the edge. And that means that there's a potential spin or mistake coming. And that might have just put him off.
R.I.P.
How has his season been?
The worst.
Bertrand Barrier. There he is. So, second place in the debut at Monza, fourth place at Shanghai, and a DNF at Portimao. He missed the rounds at Road America and Nürburgring. So, it's been a rough season, but a productive one. Let's see if he can get back on that podium. There's plenty of time. But how are the tires after that spin? And Tobias Theerolf getting a slowdown penalty at a spot you really don't want to get it at, Mistral Straight. As they make their way through Komorowski. Is he going to pit finally? He's got to pit this time around, right? So I'm pretty sure the window closes at 25 minutes remaining, and you can see the times being put up on the prototypes is 8:39, which is much quicker than what they're doing in the GT cars. I assume the GTs are on a north of a 2-minute lap. He's got to get in the pits, I think.
Stick it in your pits.
Let's see if the camera stays on us long enough to see Komorowski dive into the pit lane. Nope, we're going to go on board with Bertrand instead. Into the first corner here. That is Alfonso Alexandre up ahead. They both lap him, and there is no overtaking attempt. Really.
No one undertook an overtaking.
I think Komorowski is in the pits because he just lost a spot to Rene. He is in for his fresh set of tires, or at least a fresh pair of tires. And to get to the end of the race is Mauricio Delgado. Down Mistral, lapping Marcadet.
The Magistral Cradle. Oh wait, this isn't pro wrestling. What's going on?
We can totally work that into a new finishing move. Le Mistral Cradle.
Well, La Magistral Cradle is isn't that the one that Blue Demon used to use?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can come off the top rope and just like kick somebody right in the head. I'll do the flashy bit and you just stomp on them.
I think I do all the aerial bits in our combination moves.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can lift them up higher. Doomsday bicycle.
Of course, a number of our moves are literally you throwing me at people, such as Flight 87, which is you throwing me onto people.
Shouldn't that be Flight 187?
I think he just picked my date of birth, my year.
Fair enough. 187, baby.
I feel like you and I need to go on a Great O'Connor Jeff Cobb watch to enjoy that particular tag team over in the
That does sound pretty good.
Bertrand Barrier working down the Mistral straight. He's got the overlap with Tobias Thierolf, who is going to break first into the turn at the end of this long straightaway. And it's going to be Barrier who takes the spot. So he's back on the podium, kids. With 23 minutes to go. See if Thierolf can make a comeback here. What other battles do we have going on right now? The GTs are pretty spaced out. Looks like we've lost D-Bomb at some point. Which means we have 8 GT3s and 6 prototypes slowly running.
All of them.
Prototype category. Really, the battle is this one you're looking at right now. Barrier versus Thierolf for the final podium spot. Everyone else is spaced out fairly well. There is still 20 plus minutes to go here, so something could develop. But right now, it looks like this is the fight that we're dealing with right now. Who do you got here, Byron? Thierolf or Barrier?
Well, Barrier has this traditional habit of, like, exploding, so probably Tobias.
Yeah, I feel like Bertrand is the faster of the two, at least on this particular occasion. But Thierolf is kind of a guy I've come to rely on as a steady hand.
Correct.
Let's see if, let's see. And he's got the cheater card. Yeah.
Wow.
As a spin out there for Sebastian Bodine.
Nigel, it occurs to me that perhaps you're just a little salty because you're not driving an Audi.
I like the Audis. I don't really like the prototypes, though. This is not my type of car.
But what if it was a regular type?
I mean, I like Audis in every other form. I'm actually a little bit disappointed that there's not going to be an Audi team in World Rallycross this season.
Well, I mean, they're moving on. They're just going to be making bicycles, and
But it's more seems like World Rallycross is in kind of a weird spot. Like the manufacturer support has been like going down here. There might be an Audi that shows up because, of course, World Rallycross is one of the few racing forums where it's literally, this is my car. Let's go.
Sounds good.
It's basically what Ken Block did when he showed up with the Hoonigan Racing Ford Focus. Like, this is a Ford Focus. This is what we're going to do. Ford has given us zero support in this.
I think Dominic Toretto should show up with the muscle car.
I think actually the greatest one was the International Touring Car WTCR series, which has gotten bigger now, and this doesn't happen anymore. But like there was a driver named I forget his name now, Muller Madsen, who literally showed up, and it was his entire team was his dad and his girlfriend. That was literally the entire team for his first group.
Very nice. But little did you know it was Dario Franchitti in a wig.
They would literally drive the race car down to the circuit as opposed to, like, you know, putting it on a truck or whatever.
You gotta warm it up.
Well, TCR was designed as like a really low cost series. It's become bigger now that the problem is no matter what you do to make a low-cost racing series, once the manufacturers start sniffing around it, costs go up. That's what's happened in the TCR.
Well, sounds like it's time to burn it down and start again.
But my boy Attila Tashi is still racing. So let's go. Till the Hun.
Are you telling me that some dipshit wasn't smart enough to come up with the name Attila the Hoonigan? What is happening?
I feel like Ken Block needs to get on that.
What a bunch of them morons. Come on, get with the program. Do I have to be the creative director for everything?
Probably.
Fair enough. I'll accept that, but only if you pay me a lot.
My dad is trying to call me, but I'm not answering the phone.
I am also not answering your phone.
We're doing the thing here. Barrier and Theorolf were slowly rolling in, are slowly catching up to Andrew Dees. This may become a three-way fight for second place here before long. Although it doesn't seem like Theorolf is quite able to stay with Barrier. Looking down the GT3 field, everything's still pretty spread out. I wouldn't expect a ton of action. Although it'll be interesting to see what Adam Komorowski can do with the much fresher rubber and from his late pit stop.
Sure, what I need you to do is turn that phone volume all the way up. Or don't, your choice.
That's actually the regular volume. It's not even a full volume.
I keep my phone on silent all the time. It's very frustrating for some people, but I find it very convenient.
Well, my problem is I have to have it on when I'm working. Because if somebody calls, I need to actually answer.
Oh yeah, no, I
and then I just forget. And then I just forget to put it back on silent.
I do not require that in any way, shape, or form myself.
So I was working today in the morning to
Working,
get all my stuff down so that I could go get a dinner, get some shopping done, and come back and do some commentary. And we could do multiple commentaries today. And then I forgot that I also have to record the race that's happening in like 15 minutes.
That'd be a problem because it's going a little bit longer than 15 minutes.
No, well the practice starts in 15 minutes. So we're good. But like we couldn't squeeze another commentary session in. We don't have a race short enough.
That's what you think. I'm just going to keep on talking and talking and talking.
At some point, I'll cut you off.
Come back 3 days later. Are you still going? Yes. The meth helped tremendously.
We're watching. Theorolf is falling back at Barrier. Barrier is catching up to D, although slowly. 4.2 seconds is the gap now. 3.5. Now the gap is back to 4.1. So, Martin Edmonds. Is this going to be Martin's first win in a long time? In the series standings page, and Martin Edmonds indeed has had 2 podiums this season, a second place at Road America and a third place at Nürburgring, but has not won this season, but he is well ahead right now. And, there's no caster's curse in this case because this isn't live. As he laps Magic Kazchuk, his teammate in the Canadian pole team. And there it's the Camaro of Adam Komorowski. Going super deep in the race, but that's not going to help you if you Spin like that, my friend. Luciano Chazo is past 87 minutes. Been a brilliant day for Martin Edmonds. Outside of, I do have him under investigation for contact with Bertrand Barry.
Wow.
Find out what happens.
Super snitch going on here.
Hey, I got my snitch hat on.
God dang.
It's like the Simpsons snitch hat. Been doing a rewatch lately of Stargate SG-1. I just got up to the episode where Q, John Delancey, appears. I remember watching the episode when it first came out with my dad and me just going, he's going to be a bad guy. It's Q. He can't not play a bad guy.
He's a bad guy with a heart of gold. Not really.
Not in Stargate. Not in Stargate. He's proper bad guy in Stargate.
Oh, he's a dick. All right. I mean, you got to get to know him for a while. Like, how many Q episodes were there in fucking Next Generation? Like, at least 6.
So many Star Trek crossovers in Stargate. You got John Delancey. You got Marina Sirtis. You've got Jolene Blaylock. You've got Ronnie Cox. For some reason, locked on Martin Evans. He is the race leader in the cheater car. Trembarrier running in third. What's that gap at now? 2.8. It's coming down. At this rate, he's going to get a shot at taking that second place from Andrew D. Butler, or Tobias Thierolf in fourth, James Butler in fifth, and in the GT3 category, it is El Duco, Kazchuk, Mark Day, Alexandre, and Herbert, top 5. Armin Shimerman and Rene Beaujean also make appearances at Stargate.
Was this about an aubergine?
Lap there on, I think that was the Haribo car of Magic Kazchuk. In the GT3 category, Mark Day is reeling Kazchuk in for second place. That gap is down to 3.2 seconds. It was much larger last I looked, so that could be an interesting showdown down the wire here. That's the prototype championship leader. I believe off of this result, doing the math here, he would be 1 point ahead of Max Simmons. And overall, the lead would still belong to El Duco, who's on pace for his 4th victory in 6 rounds.
But what if it was his 19th victory in 2 rounds?
Dominating the GT field with second place man Ariel Zatoni out of the race, so it's only growing considerably. I think Zatoni's going to retain second place right now. Looking at the screenshot I have here of the standings and trying to apply the scoring metrics here. I believe he would retain second place ahead of Mark Day and Ichazo. despite his 0 score at the moment. So he, of course, had finished all other races in the top 6, taking 4th at Monza, 5th at Shanghai, 2nd place efforts at Road America and Nürburgring, and a 6th place effort at Portimao.
And 17th place at the drag races of Altamont.
I don't think anyone's finished 17th place, actually, because I don't think we've had 17 cars in a single class actually finish the race. Right now, we've only got 8 GTs and 6 prototypes. Around right now. Retirements including De Balm, Henrik Andreasen, John Barker, Demetrius Simeonitis, Ariel Zatoni, Ricardo Costa, Vic Vega, Jamie Fordham, and Roman Barthez. Less than 8 minutes to go now, 7.5. Probably about 4 laps, 5 laps maybe for the prototypes. Gap between bar A and D, well, you can see it on the screen right now. The red and white car of D under pressure from the black and gold of Bertrand Barrier. The gap is down to just 5 seconds. Let's come down to 2 seconds of the last 2-3 minutes. So Barrier's got the speed right now, and he's on a mission for that 2nd place. Sweetie, he's coming for that booty. And Canada's 1-2 is under siege.
I'm sorry, what did you say about undie pressure?
Under siege.
Undie pressure.
Sequel to that movie, thinking, you know what, the key to the success of this movie had nothing to do with Tommy Lee Jones and Gary Busey. Yes, it did.
You know what? The second Under Siege movie isn't an absolute shit show.
It's not bad, but it's not nearly.
It's not. It's okay.
It's just that like they killed off Busey's character and they killed off Tommy Lee Jones's character. It's like those were the best parts of the movie.
Do I look like I need a goddamn psychological evaluation?
Yes, you do.
Not at all.
I'm not even saying Steven Seagal can't, have a movie. There's some good ones, but like I don't know. Some producer thought like, no, the reason for the success of this movie had nothing to do with Gary Busey and Tommy Lee Jones being
correct.
Their absolute awesome selves. David Marcaday putting the pressure on for 2nd place as well. So 2nd place in both categories up for grabs. Kazchuk versus Marcaday in the GT field, and the Ford versus the Mercedes. And it is, I'm not sure which one this is, which of the made-up brands that exist in the prototype field that is battling out for 2nd place here. And Marcaday forcing a mistake out of Kazchuk. And the Ford GT moves into 2nd place for the first time today. Might have been in 2nd place on the pit stop exchange, I don't know. But he's been running 3rd and 4th all day long and picks up that 2nd place. Big deal. French 1-2 established in the GTR team. Can Bertrand Barrier do the same to Andrew Dean? They have really left Tobias Theerolf in the dust. Theerolf is now 14 seconds back, and it looks like we've lost James Butler from the race as well now. So that leaves us with just 13 cars circulating. Meantime, Marcaday has lost the spot back to Kazchuk. So the GTR voice comms are probably very excited right now, but also very, very nervous. Barrier going for 2nd place, and 2nd place on the line for Marcaday which is pretty cool because Marcaday is a guy who's fighting for that second place in the championship with Ariel Zatoni.
And next round, we're going to have him fight it out in the cage.
Battle in the cage! UFC style.
I was going to go with more of like no-holds-barred shenanigans.
Bone saws ready.
I got you for 3 minutes.
Marcaday takes second place back into turn 1. Ahead of Magic Cash Check. Does pick up a slowdown for track limit abuse, though. Barrier all over the back of Andrew D. 3 minutes to go. Probably 2, maybe 3 laps around Paul Ricard for these prototypes. Driver briefing for the Monday round has started. Whoa! Barrier got real close there.
Gonna tap.
This is the part of the track where D seems to struggle. He doesn't seem to have a well set up car for this twisty bit leading into the Mistral Straight. We've seen a couple of cars come very, very close to him through here, and I think Barrier's car is pretty on the money everywhere. It seems to not really have a weakness. So that's where I think he has his best chance of getting him. Meantime, battle for second in GT class. Kaszchuk is just outside of 7/10 away from Marcaday. We'll see if he can come back on that one. D does have an enviable car in a straight line. See how this works out. Could be headed towards the final lap here of Paul Ricard. It will have the blue flag of, I think someone just pulled off and let them through. Actually, that's very gentlemanly. It was a, I think it was a Corvette that we saw up there. So, yep, there it is in the background. I think that was Rene Ermer just dodging out of the way. And the battle for second continues. Kaszchuk's falling back in Marcaday. That gap is up to 1.5 seconds, I think. That fight probably over. Barrier looking to get through. Can he get it? What's the call, Byron? Do you have Bertrand or do you have Andrew D's Nuts?
I gotta go with D's Nuts.
All right, the Cannon car versus the green 85 car. Bertrand Barrier.
I do like the green car. I do like the green car.
Green car is very cool. That is the car I race when I do prototypes.
But D's Nuts gonna drag across the finish line.
Let's see here, down the Mistral Straight, possibly for the final time. Looking for the inside line. Will he do it? You carry a lot of speed around the outside. And oh, contact!
Woo!
What a save by Barrier!
Not too bad.
Oh, loses the back end. He might have damaged the car.
Toby the Theory Wolf closing the gap.
Yeah, I think it's too much. I think it's too much still. Yeah, Barrier's going again.
Fair enough.
Martin Edmonds is your winner, and it's going to be Andrew D in second place.
Martin Edmonds, champion of the world. To be the man, you got to race the man, and he's got octagonal tires, so if you can win this race on those kind of tires, you're fucked.
Barrier will round off the podium, and this man, Tobias Theerolf, can confirm will take a 1-point championship lead to the final round against Max Simmons at Bruno. 1 race left. Guillaume Elking Duco, your GT winner. sporting the stylish. I do actually think that car looks very nice. Mercedes. Simple, elegant, crown-like.
Y'all wearing some tiaras? Is that what's going on here?
There's Mauricio coming home in 6th place.
Murcielago Diablo. It's like 2 Lamborghinis in one.
Here come... Oh, back to El Conduco. And Luciano Achazo coming across the line. Not sure what's been up with Achazo this season. He started incredibly well, but it's been a while since we've seen him at the sharp end of the grid. He is Alpina. As we await the results to pop up here. A very damaged-looking Alfonso Alexandre there with a front end missing. Here we go. Martin Edmonds wins from Andrew D, Bertrand Barrier, Tobias Theerolf, and Sebastian Bodine. Fastest lap to Barrier. Elkin Duco wins for the GT category ahead of Marcaday, Magic Kazchuk, Alfonso Alexandre, Rene Ermer, Mauricio Delgado, Luciano Chazo, and Adam Komorowski, your finishers. We lost the Bombay, Henrik Andreasen, John Barker, Dimitri Simeonitis, Ariel Zatoni, Ricardo Costa, Vic Vega, Jamie Fordham, and who was the last one? Roman Barthez. Championship update heading into the final round. Tobias Theerolf leads Max Simmons by 1 single point, 106 to 105. Oh, it was a DQ for James Butler. Interesting. Wonder what he did to get DQ'd. Third place will be Martin Edmonds on 83 points. Is he mathematically able to win the championship? He is. Surprisingly enough, Martin Edmonds could win the championship, but it would involve basically DNFs for Tobias and Max.
Martin, you know what you got to do.
Not impossible.
You know what you got to do. You start handing out a little $5 gift card here and there. Like, yeah, it'd be really cool if you could like slow that guy down or put him on the wall, put him in the wall. You know, a little bit here and there.
Henrik Andreasen, 4th place. Andrew D, 5th. Bertrand Barrier in 6th. And in the GT category, Elking Duco is your champion. He's 47 points ahead of Marcaday and Zatoni, who are joint 2nd place. Luciano Achazo is in 4th with 64 points. And then Arnaud Edracor, who is missing in action today, with 48 points. That's your top 5. And in the team's championship, it is Tugas Racing number 3, the team of Tobias Theerolf, JB Fordham, and Henrik Andreasen, leading the championship by 12 points over GTR2. That is Elking Duco and Bodine. And 1 point further back is GTR3, which is Barrier, Adracor, and Marcaday. And also still championship alive in 4th place is Canadian Pole 2.0, Magic Kazchuk, Martin Edmonds, and Steve Davidson. Rounding off the top 5 is Esports Racing Argentina number 1. That is Ichazo, Gaston Lecurzi, and Matthias Gonzalez. And I don't even know how to say the 6th place team's name. White2 Kabuli Tribe Racing, Josiah Jerome, Andrew D, and John Barker.
Man, that's not real. Tobias, Josiah Jerome hasn't raced in 72 years.
When was the last time we saw Josiah?
17 months ago.
It wasn't that long.
I think the Texas power grid went down and it never came back up, and I think he probably died.
He raced the first 4 rounds of the season. The last we saw him was at Nürburgring, taking a 7th place.
God, that was like February.
But he's had 2 DNFs as well as an 8th place in the season opener at Monza. So he's missed the last 2 rounds.
Dang.
Hopefully he's back at Bruno to give us a good result finally, because we haven't seen Josiah really live up to his potential in a little bit.
Yeah, he used to win every single fucking race.
Mm-hmm. Definitely top-notch guy and no podiums this season. So, anyways, Byron, your final thoughts after this race?
Good news. After 40 years of local extinction, rhinos are being reintroduced to Mozambique.